and keeping your blood sugars flowing through, or the glycogen levels as it's called. There's a lot of stuff I learned when I was a personal trainer for 15 years, where I was coaching all different types of athletes, sports people, exercise, all those sort of things. So your body takes it in properly and balances out, but it's a bit windy up here and the terrain's getting really steep now, so I'll do it on a separate part of the video. The epilogue part of this Brecon Beacons Wild Camp video, I am actually going to separate it, re-edit it and do it as a separate shorter video, actually containing the content of what was in this epilogue. So it's an easier point of reference if people want to come back to it, rather than having to link onto the Wild Camp and Trek video. They can go straight onto this specific subject and use it for reference in the future. Hi guys and gals, it's Pete, Mindwiseman's channel, aka Maverick Outdoors. This is going to be a video which is including the epilogue, which was at the end of the Brecon Beacons trek that I did on the 3rd of May 2015. And what I've decided to do is actually separate that epilogue and edit it a little bit and re-upload it so you have a specific point of reference to do with hydration and replenishing calories after physical exertion. Physiology and anatomy and biochemistry of the body are quite complex but very interesting subjects. But the information that I'm going to give you in these videos, especially this one, are all going to be based on ideas and principles that are very easy to understand and are in layman's terms as best as possible. So I hope it's informative for you and endeavours to get you inspired to maybe get a little bit more physical yourself and get onto the path of health and well-being, and also having a better body condition to help you with those physical activities outdoors. So let's crack on. Now I'm going to summarise briefly the importance of replacing calories that you've burnt off when doing physical exertion, more than what your physical exertion would be for normal daily activities. So sort of out on the trek and trail, if we're going to keep it on that subject. So basically it's called the carbohydrate window. So when your body's been working and all the blood sugars have started to deplete, if they totally deplete, then after you'd finished that physical exertion and you have a chance to rest, it's very important to get the calories in at that time. Normally within about an hour to an hour and a half. It's called the carbohydrate window. And if you imagine your muscles are like sponges, and they're very receptive to convert the food and take the blood sugars more efficiently to put it straight back into the muscles when you've eaten that food. And you need to be doing that within at least the first hour to hour and a half of finishing that physical exertion. If you leave it any longer, up to a maximum of 2 hours, what it does, it shuts down that receptivity of the muscles to be like sponges to absorb the glycogen, and whatever food you eat after that carbohydrate window that's ready to take in the glycogen, if you leave it for too long, any food that you eat, once the window closed down, the glycogen will start to be processed in the liver. So then when you need to continue the physical activity, when you've had rest or the next day, when you start to do the physical movements, your body then has to take it from the stored reserves in the liver. But to bypass that and to make your body more proactive and responsive and more potential for the physical activity you have to continue to do a few hours later or the next day. So it's all about replenishing the calories as soon as you can after that physical exertion. So then your stomach starts to digest the food, has more efficiency to send the blood sugars back into the muscles, because then when you need to carry on with that physical exertion, like I said, the next day or a few hours later, the muscles are more responsive to actually function because they've got that stored glycogen, blood sugars in the muscles to switch on and get you on the move. Compared to leaving it for too long to replenish the calories after your physical exertion, which then of course loses the potential of that carbohydrate window, spongy absorbent muscle fibres to take in the glycogen ready for it. So if you miss that carbohydrate window, your body is less exertive performance related. Of course, your liver's always functioning to supply the blood sugar levels to the muscles, regardless of what time of day it is and what you're actually doing. But if we're talking about being more efficient with our physical activity, it's getting that blood sugar ready in the muscles, ready to be stored on. So it's a bit like trickle charging the batteries of a particular bit of machinery. The comparison of that is like with keeping hydrated with that small 10% of the sugar level, so we're keeping the hydration so the body can work efficiently. Plus also, once we've finished that activity, as I've just explained, getting the calories in so then we recharge the battery, which is as efficiently as possible, getting that blood sugar back into the muscles. So just like a set of recharged batteries up to 100%, they're ready then to make the machine, the torch, whatever it is you're going to use, be powered and be able to be effective to be used. We're sort of comparing it really, the body, with the same sort of approach. So believe it or not, that's the easy to understand layman's version, to give you an idea as to keeping your body working efficiently when you're doing anything physically exertive. Which takes us back to all the food and the hydration that I consumed on the trek and trail a couple of days ago when I did the wild camp on Brecon Beacons. All that food was relevant for me personally because I know I've got a very fast metabolism. If I do let my energies deplete and I don't get that carbohydrate window, I know myself that I won't actually have that potential as effectively to actually do efficiently the physical activity that I want to do the next day or a few hours later. There's one extra aspect that I will include at this particular moment. It's called the nitrogen balance, and again it's another sort of biochemical process of the body, but basically all you need to know is that our nitrogen balance in the body every 3 hours starts to deplete. So that's why it's important, if you're exerting your body for quite a long period of time, and considering myself and Dave, we probably burnt off about 12 to 1500 calories on the first day trekking for that 4 to 5 hours. So not only do you have to consume the calories just for your body to stay alive and function normally without doing anything specifically exertive, you've then got to think of the calories also to replenish what you've burnt off. So from my own experience, I know the amount of calories. I've got a bit of a reputation for eating quite a lot of food, but obviously it's not doing me any harm because I've got quite a lean body. I haven't got very much stored body fat. So of course, my muscle tissue is ticking over a higher metabolic rate. Every pound of muscle needs about 50 calories per day. So the more leaner the body is, the more calories you have to take, not just for the physical activity that you do, but also for your body to maintain that muscle tissue to help that physical activity. So you've got two aspects there, is in taking the calories for the physical exertion and also in taking calories to maintain the muscle tissue or the motors, the machinery of the body to allow that physical action to take place. At the end of the day, the main aspect is what are you utilising your body for? So you wouldn't want to train like a bodybuilder if you're going to be a long distance runner or vice versa. So everything is horses for courses, and it's understanding and getting the perspective of the relevant exercises for specific activity, which I call activity specific. So instead of it being, well, you know, you want to work your chest, so you do pec muscles, chest exercises, bench press, dumbbell flies. So as a lot of you know, a lot of my exercises or the physical activity that I do exercise-wise sort of replicates some of the movements that I do either from canoeing to trekking, all that sort of thing. So not only is it health-related fitness, which I would do anyway because it's been a lifestyle for me for many, many years, and for more than 20 years it's been part of my profession. But it's really important to consider getting one-to-one coaching. A lot of fitness establishments have very qualified and physiology and anatomy experienced personal trainers and advisors and exercise tutors. But the art of it is actually getting a personal trainer who can apply their knowledge to the specific things that you want from exercise. So rather than someone just walking into a gym and saying, okay, I want to get fit, I want to develop muscles, what tends to happen, there tends to be sort of a blanket overall exercise program that you see everyone doing. Everyone's doing the same thing. Of course, that's better than nothing at all. But if you can get the personal trainer or the exercise coach that can actually assess your character, your personality, what motivates you, what it is that you're exercising for. Is it just health-related fitness so you can keep physical independence as you get older? Or is it for a particular activity? Like I said, you wouldn't be doing strength training if you're doing something endurance. So a short distance runner would train differently from a long distance runner. So if you can find an exercise or personal trainer advisor that can actually treat you as an individual and actually can specifically assess what is specific literally for you and your activities, that's really what you're looking for, and that's the knowledge that you're after. I know it's easy for me to say because it's been a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle for me. I can't remember a time when I haven't been running around or doing some sort of exercise. So that's what literally got me into the profession of physical training and personal training, mind-body well-being and that sort of thing, which has progressed into, especially over the past 10 years. So I am talking here from experience and results, people that I've trained with. I've been coached myself, diet, nutrition, principles of sports psychology from Olympic athlete coaches, internationally recognised coaches, lots of varied people that I've come across over the years, and from the things that I've learned from them, I've then been able to pass my experience and knowledge to help those people that have been my clients and people that I've trained over the years. So I am going to, in the near future, do some videos which are relevant and very easy to understand regarding exercise, activity-related exercise and conditioning, which hopefully will be helpful. And will also give you a little bit of motivation, not just for doing exercise for physical activities, but for one's health and well-being, which is really important. I've said it before, at the end of the day, we've all got our kit, all the right things to use when we're doing our outdoors activities, from bushcraft survival, our prepping knowledge and techniques. But at the end of the day, this is what we've got, our physical body. And we should consider keeping that condition just as much, keeping it as sharp, just as much as our favourite knife and blade that we carry to use outdoors. I feel very passionate about that because my interests have always been to do with well-being and one's physical potential. And sometimes we can actually open up new boundaries of what we can do from our experiences, and it creates new aspects and challenges for us to learn from and make us stronger as a character. So I hope you found this part of the video of interest, especially the earlier part when I did the trek and wild camp. I hope it's inspired you to put them trekking boots on, get yourself conditioned a little bit and get out there and do something a bit more challenging. As always, thanks for watching. Really appreciate your interest, and I'll catch you in another video soon. Cheers, take care.